All right, we're here in the Twin Cities where hopefully the purple rain will chill out and we can play a little lacrosse. The Boston Cannons and Utah Archers set to battle in the second leg of our Friday doubleheader here in Week 4 of the Premier Lacrosse League season. Happy Friday night, everybody. Thanks for spending some of it with us up here in the booth. Drew Carter, Paul Carcaterra, Dana Boyle down on the field, and a thrill to once again be joined by one of the best Native American lacrosse players ever, Jeremy Thompson, on an Indigenous Heritage Weekend here in the PLL. And Jeremy, this is going to be our second game together. It's great to have you back. What's your favorite part of the weekend so far?
Yeah, I think one of the things coming in this weekend, obviously it being Native American Heritage Weekend this weekend, I think for me it just makes me feel like home, just bringing recognition to all of, the medicine with the game, the cultural aspect about it, and, kind of just, showing at halftime that you can kind of see what went down on the field there.
We almost didn't get you back.
Seeing a lot of the interacting with a lot of the intertribal people down there, and they're talking about their game, and just I think that just makes me feel like I'm back home, and them talking about their aspect, their game, their culture aspect. So
that's awesome. We were down there playing with some wooden stakes for sure. It's great to be sharing this weekend with you, and we really appreciate you allowing us to be here. So here's the matchup at the Stripe. You know about Zach Tucci and his offensive prowess in their win over the Water Dogs in Philly. Mike Sisselberger, one of the strongest players in the sport. Wings will be key, as they always are, in that ground ball.
Hey, we're power!
Won by Tucci. Cannons come in 2-1. Archers also 2-1. Boston's won 2 games in a row. Now they get Jonathan Donville back, one of several Canadians making his season debut today. Matt Campbell turns around, beats Thompson, and the Cannons score 26 seconds in.
That goal, Matt Campbell is tied with Marcus Holman on the season for the team lead. Second-year pro out of Villanova. He played for Coach Mike Carcaterra, where he attracted long poles week in and week out, and he just goes to the rack on Piper Bond. He is a big body, he's smooth, and he's got the wheels, Jeremy.
This head coach, Brian Holman, year 2 at the helm of this Cannons team, turned him around from 1-9 in 2022 to 7-3. They were the 2 seed in the PLL, lost to the Water Dogs in the semis.
And they flipped the script in almost every offensive category from 2022 to 2023. They were first in the league in scoring last year, first in assists, first in power play. I think Asher Nolting is a big reason, because they have a quarterback with Marcus Holman who can deal and understands how to draw that slide too, and that helps when you have a guy like Marcus Holman coming from the Utah Archers from 2 years ago. I think he gave Asher Nolting an outside shooting threat that he needed to pass the ball to.
Yeah, this is a family business, and the Holmans are right at the center of it. They also have 2 Kerrs and 2 Kavanaughs, both Pat and Matt not playing tonight, though. Moore's shot deflected. Tom Schreiber, the captain and the reigning MVP, with the backup. Schreiber shoots, whistles it high. Only 3 goals so far for Tom Schreiber. 4-time Midi of the Year. He will.
League Player of the Year a season ago.
Yeah, you definitely have to keep your eyes on him, to get rolling again. Definitely can't fall asleep, but a guy like him, never count out.
They just have so many weapons. Ament started with a no-look pass. Moore missed it wide, and with 1 second left on the shot clock, the Archers will just kill this possession.
Ament's been more of a scorer this season. 2 years ago, he led the league in assists. He's the attackman of the league, and now he's been playing midfield. Teams haven't slid to him because they think he's a passer first. He's making them pay. He's got 7 goals on the season.
There's Chris Bates, former coach at Princeton, replaced Bill Tierney, who's now the coach of the Water Dogs. We'll see them in action tomorrow night. Keep your eye on 29 in white. That's Mike Robinson making his professional debut and getting the start tonight. Lefty attackman out of Delaware. Native of Peterborough, Ontario. Nolting found him. He was dispossessed by Warren Jeffrey. Now a scrum forward inside the arc. John Robbins had it, lost it, picked up by Dobson.
Michael Robinson is an interesting player in this offense too, because you have Asher Nolting, who's a righty passing to the lefty Robinson. Robinson had an awesome career at Delaware, played at Culver in high school, and that place is a factory. Guys like Ethan Walker, Zach Currier, there's so many pros. Jake Stevens, we saw him the prior game. He is a lethal lefty shooter, kind of in that Ethan Walker mold, where if you give him room from outside, 29 can make him pay.
I was going to say, you know, talking on Robinson, talking about guys coming out of Peterborough, guys like John Grant Jr., done well in professional rankings. You got guys Courier. Yeah.
Those are some pretty good names. There's a flag against Utah. Nolting drew it. Check in with Matty Paler.
Archer's foul, number 81, 1 minute trip.
It's Graham Hossack in his first game of the year.
Yeah, this is the matchup you and I were talking about. I think it's just what the doctor ordered for Utah, because I don't think they had a guy that could deal with the physicality of Asher Nolting. He is meant, Graham Hossack, to be in those like bar scraps, right? Like you want to get physical with that guy. He's going to swing on you.
Yeah, he's definitely he's the anchor of their defense, and you know, it's a good thing they have him back here this year.
All right, Kark, you mentioned their power play last year was 75% best in the league. Currently just 20%, 1 for 5. Nolting shoots from the sharp angle.
I mean, that's obnoxious, 75%.
75 is ridiculous. We call it the powder play because it's the cannons. Cannon powder?
Yeah, I get it.
Can go along with that.
If Jeremy Thompson signs off on it, I'm okay. Holman with the feed. Ryan Drenner had that shot deflected before it got to the goal. Drenner, the former Towson Tiger.
Cutter.
Holman can stretch it from anywhere. So can this guy, Chris Aslanian, at bouncer. 10 seconds left on the timer.
Sticks up. Let's go, check. Break. Hey, you got middle, check middle.
The Archers will kill off the rest of this penalty, which has just 5 seconds left. Getting Hossack back, a big addition for this Utah team and their defense, which is coordinated by Tony Resch. They got 4 close defensemen, and they're all left-handed.
Check. Good, check.
Schreiber trying to get to his spot. Good defense from the short stick, Jeff Traynor. Leads to an errant pass, and Traynor has it. The pride of Bill Ricca.
Watch the trail. Get up.
Van Raphorst wound it up. Now shoots. Bouncer missed.
That thing's screaming, and Van Raphorst is known to be a 2-point threat. 77 White. He gets over the midline. Better get on those hands.
Here comes Connor Kirst back in his more natural position, playing offensive midfielder. He came over from the Whips in a trade. Also reunited with his brother Colin, who's the Cannons goalie. Nolting spins it back through X. Here's Robinson. More goals than any Blue Hen in Delaware history, including John Grant Jr. Drenner lets it fly. Holman's got the backup. $15 to shoot.
Check. Good grab, you're good head.
There's that matchup again. There's Nolting and Hossack. He passed out of it, and it's Archer's ball.
You play in the box against Graham Hossack. What makes him a special defender?
I think it's just his size and body and quickness. He is just, you know, anything like, you know, you would think that he's not too quick on his feet, but, you know, he's definitely a slide package threat. Anything one-on-one, you're not getting past him. He's got his feet. He's great in all aspects.
There's another guy they're getting back tonight, Challen Rogers, 6'4" Canadian midfielder. Schreiber had a steam.
See how quick that release is, right? We were talking about Chanachuk in the last game. Mike Chanachuk for the Maryland Whips. Tom Schreiber, Mike Chanachuk from the same high school, St. Anthony's, Long Island.
Yeah.
Their dads were great college lacrosse players. Those dads taught those boys how to shoot the right way.
And it's just where his shot comes from. Schreiber on a run, he's like right here, right here. That's all forearms to me.
And when you have the forearms, you don't break stride. Like,
yeah.
You keep running full speed.
Already 5 turnovers for the Archers. Bubba Fairman will slow it down as the Cannons play the subject.
You're good. Hands. You're good, Graham. You're good, Graham. Check. You're good. You're good. Drive up. You're
This
good, Graham.
is uncharted territory for a Utah team that's +9 in the first quarter through 3 games this season. Hasek knocked it free, and look at Brett Thompson all the way out to the 45-yard line. Bo Peterson, the rookie short stick from Michigan, started that break. Moore could not connect.
And that's another turnover. I think it is critical for Utah to get Matt Moore going. He's got the second most touches on this team with 86 coming into tonight's contest. He's got 1 point.
Good,
1 point. That is not typical for Matt Moore. Matt Moore has been a point machine throughout the course of his career.
Cannons give it right back. Just for some context, Moore, as a rookie, shot 35%. Last year down to 20%. This year 0%, 0 for 11 shooting.
Alone.
Feels like that slump is not going to last long.
We saw Brian Costabile come out of his slump in the prior game, the New York Atlas.
There's Connor Fields. He had Epple on him, now draws the short stick Fairman.
This is a problem. Watch how he uses his shoulders and how slippery he gets here.
He is so crafty. Skips it for Ament, lost his footing on the turf here, which is wet after the rain. Caused this game to be delayed. Ament gets back up and nails it. A bit of a choppy start for the Archers, but Grant Ament has them on the board.
Yes, he does. Grant Ament, the unassisting threat for the Archers. Play him as a passer. He'll burn you as a scorer. You don't want to slide to him? 16 in blue will make you pay. He's feeling it.
What do you think about that, Clark? Best guy in the league?
One of them. He's top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think
too.
Jack Rowlett has an argument there. Jack Rowlett is a complete buzz of a defender. Garrett Epple is the reigning defender of the year, but Hasek's certainly in the mix.
Yeah.
JT Giles Harris.
Yeah. Hasek won the Dave Petramala Defensive Player of the Year a couple of years ago.
Yes, he did. If I had to pick one defender right now to cover someone, though, it's Jack Rowlett.
I see him tomorrow night.
Yes.
Plays for Carolina. He's got 7 caused turnovers, tied for the league lead. There's Campbell ringing the iron. He's got the only goal for the Cannons. Only 2 shots on goal until that one, and they both scored. So still waiting on our first save. What do you think about Utah having all lefty defensemen now?
You know, I think it's really good in a game when you're facing a big body like an Asher Nolting, but when you're a lefty on a lefty, that can create some problems, especially if you're dealing with like a big body lefty, a guy like John Grant, because then you're forced to play cross forearm the entire time. So if Asher Nolting was a lefty, that would be a problem tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think as far as, matchups, I think it depends on the situation.
I think tonight is okay because you have the lefty on a righty and Hasek against Nolting. And Holman's more off ball, and so is Michael Robinson. So I don't think it's a problem tonight.
Yeah, I agree too.
Hey, early offense!
I saw Tony Resch today at the hotel.
Hey, support here!
He said, good to have you back. I said, yeah, a lot of new faces, but I can always rely on you guys to have only lefty defensemen. There's one thing I know. Is that. Here's Nolting turning the corner. That might have hit his own teammate, Fairman, trying to set the screen. Thompson trying to start the clear, couldn't connect with Hasek. And that's 8 turnovers for Utah in the first quarter.
That's crazy, because if you hit 20 on a game, it's like, yikes, we're playing sloppy. They're on track for 32 turnovers.
Good math, Carter. Again, you're dialed in tonight. They do lead the league with over 20 turnovers per game. They're on pace to hit that and then some tonight. There's Drenner. Short stick, Peterson defending him.
Look away! Look away!
Nolting has Hasek hung up with 20 to shoot. Donville in a ground ball scrum with Piper Bond. Nolting on the ride. And the Archers come away with it. Here is the rookie Peterson. No Latrell Harris so far this season for the Archers. Out with a knee injury, one of the better short stick D-middies in the league. In fact, he won that award last year.
Yeah, and Piper Bond with that ground ball, he leads the Archers in grounders. He's an emerging young stud of a short stick defensive midfield in his own right.
3 seconds, split the game clock and shot clock, and there's Tommy Schreiber. Captain America, Mr. Ambidextrous, going to the ground with his left hand.
Break this one down, Jeremy, and let's talk about that release.
Yeah, so I think when it comes down to Schreiber, you know, he's trying to find his footing here. He gets a sprint off, and I think everything just comes from his waist and hips, putting everything right into it, and everything's all forearms from there. You know, kind of following through with the strength he has and then athleticism he has.
Yeah, I think you make a great point, too. You mentioned him sprinting. When you have the wrist like that, and it's such a quick motion, you never have to break stride in your dodge. A lot of guys that have these big windups, they can't be at full speed when they shoot.
Tucci's got the face-off. He's always a threat. Tried to pinball out of there. Hasa comes away with it. Guys, how do you develop wrists like that? Is that natural, or do you have to work on it?
Tommy Schreiber, I asked him this question. His dad, Doug, when he was a little kid, after you see this shot, gave him one of the grip strength things, right? Where you're constantly doing. He said he got it for Christmas for like 20 straight years. He's still getting it. So I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah. I too, you know, similar to that, my dad, he was an iron worker.
Yeah.
So he had us carrying, you know, we had a wood stove.
Yeah.
We had to bring out logs of wood out of the woods,
Yeah,
and that was all forearms,
yeah,
carrying
exactly.
that whole way.
That's a lacrosse exercise, rolling the wood out of there. It works for you. Well, the Archers have a 2-1 lead over the Cannons after one quarter. This is going to be a really fun game, folks. See if both goalies can get it dialed in. Utah by 1.
You've got Gary Gate, you got Paul Rabel. Tom Schreiber is in that conversation of the all-time greats.
I think, you know, it's a very interesting topic. I think it comes down to, you know, him playing year-round. He's a star in the indoors. Maybe it's, you know, hey, let's get some touches to these younger guys.
It's been a sloppy game, though. 17 turnovers in the first quarter. You know, Boston, they scored 26 seconds into the game. 0 for their last 7. Like, this is an offense we're talking about last year in Schreiber's touches. This offense was nuclear level a season ago.
Most efficient in the PLL. And the pieces are mostly the same. Missing the Kavanaugh brothers tonight. Mike Robinson at 29 is number 29 is starting his pro debut. There's Asher Nolting. Tends to get things going when he touches the ball. A shot clock violation as the Archers come away with it.
He's normally a very good decision maker. I thought he forced that one.
You can kind of see how they're sliding to him early, and you can see how he handled that.
10 turnovers against the Cannons. 8 for the Archers. Very sloppy. Does the rain delay have something to do with that, you think?
Alone!
Yeah, I think that, you know, when it comes through and, you know, you get rain situation, the netting on the stick, you know, your footing with the cleats.
Drive! Jump!
Ament with a great setup. Fields kept it. 2 flags come in.
Left!
What about those fakes?
He held on to that. He held on to that way longer than I thought.
We saw Rambo in the first game throw an extra fake or 2.
Oh, my God.
Oh! Wow. They tried it again, and this time it's money. Amen to Fields.
Give it to me. That is perfection. This is why Grant Ament 2 years ago was the attackman of the year in the PLL, because he was constantly dealing and passing.
A good goal on the play. Foul on Cannons, number 41, 1 minute slashing.
It's Bryce Young, who leads the league in penalties.
That's his fourth.
This pass was terrific. They connected in the prior play as well, and then they went back for good measure. Connor Fields, this is a terrific pass. It was almost a look away while he left his feet.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And then the BTB just extends his angle. I know your brother Lyle played with Connor Fields at Albany for that 1 year when Connor was a freshman. I think Lyle fed him to a 60-goal season.
Oh, my goodness.
He's an amazing scorer.
College coaches across the country just had a nightmare thinking about Thompson and Fields together at Albany. That is just
How about when it was in 2014, Thompson, and Thompson?
Yeah. The Thompson trio. Shattering
Miles
records.
And Lyle, the brothers, and then your cousin Ty.
Yeah.
That was almost unfair. I always say if they had a face-off guy that year, they would have blitzed the entire NCAA field.
Oh my
they
goodness.
lost in overtime to Notre Dame in the quarterfinals.
I remember that.
Schreiber beat the buzzer. That should be a reset. It's a save by Curse, so a fresh 32 for Utah. Archer's on the power play for 10 more seconds, and Ryan Ambler cashes in.
Boston's out of sorts here. Watch how much cushion they give Ambler on the high crease in the power play. The lack of communication after the reset. I mean, look how open he is.
Yeah, way too much time.
That's Tommy Schreiber with the pass. I mean, that's insane how open he is.
Yeah, it's almost too much time, huh? It's like, you're almost thinking of the concept. You want to think inside and then maybe give them an outside shot.
I think what happened on that play is after the reset, they didn't reset, right? The clock was reset after the shot, and it seems like the Cannons never got in, because when you play man-down defense, from a principal perspective, it's always inside out. Protect the inside,
right,
and then worry about the outside, and hope that your goalie's gonna make a stop,
make a big save.
That's 4 goals in a row for the Archers after Matt Campbell struck first for the Cannons. There's Fields. Epple draws that assignment. This is Connor Fields in a nutshell. Zigging and zagging and drawing flags, getting crushed, keeping the ball.
Yeah.
And then now they'll blow it dead. And
oh boy,
this is
here
pretty
we go.
typical
Here
too.
we go.
Here we go. Whoa.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Garrett Epple.
Apple's in there.
He's not going to back down.
I've seen Challen in there give a little knuckle to the face mask.
Challen Rogers not going to back down, 23 in blue.
No.
The penalty was on Epple when Fields hit the dirt. And then there could be another one on him. Yeah, he's pretty good at watching TV.
Always Matty Palin with his comments. He's a beauty when it comes to it.
Foul on the play at Cannons, number 52, 30-second technical hold. The aftermath of that play is under review.
And I'll go watch some TV.
Yeah, I was going to watch TV. The first call was easy. It was the hold on Epple when Fields hit the turf. But then the aftermath, here's the hold. That's the right call.
You know what's amazing watching Connor Fields is I feel like he draws a bunch of penalties and incites fights just because defenders get so frustrated.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to get the ball away from him.
I mean, he held on to it until the very last second.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a guy like Garnsey, you know. I mean,
To me, he's the biggest matchup problem from an attack dodging standpoint in the league. Last year, he had the most goals in the league, dodging with under 10 seconds left in the shot clock. What does that tell you? Everyone knows you're going to the rack with 10 seconds or less, and they still can't stop him. He's like Gumby with pig grease on him.
I like that.
You think we'll have anything extra here?
No.
I don't know.
They made their final call.
Got a little heated. I'd be okay with nothing extra. What about you?
Yeah, I thought we would have nothing extra in that first game, but then.
But there was a
guys got
helmet
a minute,
pulled off,
yeah.
though, too.
Yeah.
I didn't see a helmet get pulled off in this one.
It looked like Epple was throwing hands initially. I think he was just trying to grab somebody.
You're talking about extra
right
after this review.
Yeah, look, I mean, they got hands in his fist, in his face before he throws that one. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of hands in his mug too, right?
Yeah.
It's him and Rogers. He almost popped Rogers'
See the
helmet
fingers
off.
right in the face.
Yeah, I don't think Apple should get anything else on this. You do?
No.
Do you?
No.
It's play.
I mean, look, if anything, it should be the other guys.
Oh, that's what it was. Whoever.
You thought it was an Archer's stick at first?
You could see him coming across, and that's what kind of whack. Yeah.
Let's take another look at that. I think Jeremy saw an Archer's stick.
Fieldsy was down. I thought it was Fieldsy. Maybe it's O'Keefe.
7 doesn't have a stick.
John Rogers thinking, this is fun. My first game this year. Already got a little action.
What are we looking at?
7.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
O'Keefe.
a whack. He should probably do some time, to be honest with you.
I think it's going to be O'Keefe with the additional. And that's Challen comes in because he's,
I don't think Eppel should do any extra time other than the hold.
No.
O'Keefe probably should get something. Coming in and give him the old whack on the back.
Yeah. I don't know, it could be Challen coming in with the hit, the initial hit to the face mask, no?
I feel like that's kind of a wash with Rogers and Eppel, right?
Yeah.
Kark, which one of the jerseys is your favorite?
I liked the Denver Outlaws.
With the Buffalo?
Yeah, I thought the artwork with the Buffalo was terrific. I think they're all amazing.
They are.
It's hard to ask me that question.
Yeah.
Patrick Hunter did an amazing job with
There's the
these
whip
jerseys.
snakes.
Yeah, that's incredible. I want one of those. All right, Matty P.
Watch TV.
Come on, Matty.
Fouls on the play. Cannons, number 52, 30-second technical hold, 1 minute unsportsmanlike. Archers, number 7, 1 minute slash. Number 23, 1 minute unsportsmanlike. The ball will go to the Archers as to the Cannons as the Archers have more penalty time.
I don't know how I feel about Eppel doing extra time. I think we have Seth Tierney.
Yeah,
Seth, you
ask
with
him.
us?
I am with you guys.
What did you think about the extra time for Eppel? I mean, I understand the hold on Fields. That was during live play.
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly the initial part of it, and then O'Keefe took a whack. I think you guys mentioned that a little bit in the broadcast earlier, and then it started to get a little bit, a little bumping going on out there. There was a face mask being pulled, and then after that point, just to kind of keep it even, because there was a couple face washes, and we didn't want to go too crazy. But the O'Keefe 1 minute kind of set it off again. That was the problem.
Yeah, that one was a no-brainer to me.
That one hurt, and then Challen and Eppel kind of got into it a little bit, so that they got evened up on that one.
Well, Matt Palem's good at watching TV. So are you, Seth.
Do you enjoy watching with Matt Palem?
I don't know if we enjoy it, but we try to get it right. Matt Palem does a great job.
Yeah, so do you, Seth. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
They're going to be up 30, all right?
Yeah, and the reason they're up 30, Utah's going to be up 30 because you still have the 30-second hold after Eppel does the 1 minute for the unsportsmanlike, because he did have the hold on Fields during live play.
That's right, because O'Keefe will have his slash penalty concurrently with Rogers. So right now the Cannons are a man up 5-on-4. Campbell with a bullet. That's deflected. Who's closest to it? Looks like Boston it is, as Lanian.
That's a hammer of a shot. That is pure gas by Matt Campbell.
That's some smoke coming off. I'm
Here
not
it
sure
comes
if it
again.
made it all the way. Campbell again.
What a
Thompson
stop.
goes down. His first save tonight. You can make a pretty good argument he's been the best goalie in the league this season.
Yeah, with the rips from outside with these guys, definitely gonna.
10 seconds left in the 5-on-4. 15 to shoot. Nolting up top. Campbell, third time's the charm. That is straight cheese. And he goes to the bouncer for 2.
Matt Campbell is now the leading goal scorer on the season for the Boston Cannons. And credit how persistent he is, because his prior shots were in the same location, and Thompson was able to make the stop. This time he stares him down for the third time in this possession, and that's a 2-ball.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, the fluid motion of that shot coming across his body on a righty goalie to hug that off pipe is beautiful.
And with all that, with his deception, where it's coming from, you can kind of see he throws the those bouncer and coming from a goalie's perspective, that's going to be a tough shot to save. Any bounce shot.
Yeah, it's flying off the turf.
It ends a 4-goal Utah run. Campbell's got both for the Cannons, one of them for 2. That's his third 2-ball of the year, which ties Mike Janachuk for most in the league.
Second year as a pro out of Villanova. And Brian
You're man
Holman.
down for 6 seconds, and then you're going to be man up for 30 seconds. Here we go.
They're going to be man up, the Utah Archers, after they're man down because of the original Ethel penalty.
Right. Now, Sisselberger and Tucci, neither one of them took that faceoff. That is a big faceoff win for Boston. I believe that was Zach Goodrich, 14. Now, Utah's on the power play.
Yeah, they can double the ball here.
That's what they do. They jar it free from Knowlton. They've got 15 seconds to go with the extra man. Trailers the rookie Mason Woodward.
I wouldn't have been opposed to burning a timeout there.
Yeah, I like that.
In the first half, you know, in the second half, it's a little different. I wouldn't have been opposed at 15 seconds.
Oh, Keith! Oh, don't do it to him! Snapping ankles and scoring on the back pedal.
Why call a timeout when you have maybe the best stretch shooter in the universe in Mac O'Keefe? This is nasty. The release here is frightening. But equally impressive was the pass by Grant Ament. Did you see him sling that pass?
Absolutely.
And then the footwork of O'Keefe. So he continues to move to where the ball was. And Van Raphorst loses his feet. And it frees him up with no contact on his hands.
He just snatched Kate Van Rapport's soul.
Because he was moving towards the ball, right?
Yeah.
And then he planted his feet, and then Van Raphorst hit the turf. But it's the synergy between Grant Ament and Mac O'Keefe, college teammates.
For sure. Penn State Nittany Lions.
Here we go.
And you're going to find stuff like that, you know, guys coming in from, you know, have a career together at the collegiate level, and, you know, they're going to eventually find themselves, and they know themselves.
It's the sixth sense, right?
Yep.
It's like when you play with your brothers.
Exactly.
It's the unspoken body language type of movement.
Exactly. You know where each other are on the field. You don't even have to.
Not to mention the respect that Grant Ament is getting coming out of the box as a shooter so early in the season. He's forced to be a threat, and defenses have to pay attention to it.
That's a good point, Dana. I don't think a lot of people would have projected at this stage in the season, after a few games under their belts, that Grant Ament would be the leading goal scorer for the Archers, tied with O'Keefe and Connor Fields.
And he told me, he said he doesn't have to be that guy like you do in college when you're that player. He's playing with a lot more looseness to his game, and it's opening up his game and the rest of the Archers team as an offensive unit.
Think about Ament. He was a guy who had 96 assists in a season in college, which is a record by a mile. So he was a pass-first point guard type with the Nittany Lions. And now he's scoring a lot of goals. There's Holman. Speaking of goal scorers, 11 to shoot.
I think he takes it personal, right? That teams are sometimes short sticking him. They're not sliding to him.
That was Holman's first shot tonight. 5 on the timer. Cursed. Got to go. Oh, big stick. Draws a penalty, a late one, and a bailout for the Cannons.
Where, 89? Okay. Archers foul number 89, 1 minute. High cross check.
That's Bo Peterson, former Michigan Wolverine, former Princeton Tiger, a native of Park City, Utah, playing for his hometown team. Bank for a minute into the sin bin. Cannons to the power play when we return. All right, Jeremy Thompson hearing Brian Holman say that. What emotions does that inspire in you?
You can definitely hear the passion, the emotion in his voice as he's talking to his team. And to me, it's just, it's very humbling. It's humbling to hear that. And, you know, I talked to him, you know, before the game started here. And I also know Marcus, too, you know, just from previous experiences and the events, you know, and stuff, and how they view the game and how they respect it and how they're carrying it on.
That's what this weekend is all about. And Matt Campbell is taking this game over. That is 2 missiles from the top of the arc. He's got all 5 for the Cannons, including 2 bombs.
He is making a statement in a one-on-one duel with one of the best goalies in the PLL, and Brett Thompson. Matt Campbell is not flinching with this showdown. He hits him offside low in the previous 2. This time it is just straight up gas from behind the arc.
I got Matt Campbell on my roster listed as a righty. All 3 of his goals left-handed. True two-way midi, or two-handed midi.
He had a step down in space that he had on that last shot there. He was definitely going in for a high percentage shot.
You guys ever have a game like this where you're just feeling it, start to take it over?
Yeah, like rec ball.
Yeah, maybe back in my younger days, high school probably.
There's a save by Dobson on Holman. And Holman's sweet spot, 3 saves for Dobson. Piper Bond carries it into the offensive end for the Archers. Find themselves in a tie game with 4:30 to play in the second quarter. Amen. O'Keefe steps into it. Save by Kirst. That's got to hurt.
Find Matt Campbell, right? This is Matt Campbell against the Utah Archers.
So far,
yes.
Archers 5, Campbell 5.
Come in late. Hey, Graham, you got ball. Graham, you got ball.
Where's number 20?
Big Little coming here. Hey, check those with the double sets it. Hey, go, Graham. Drive ahead. Watch the question.
Nolte. Bumped by Hasek.
There's that physicality, Jeremy.
Yeah.
From Graham
lefty,
Hasek.
lefty, drive him. Drive him. You're good. Stay. You're good. Drive him.
That's Trainer staying out there playing offense. They've got Ambler stuck. Outside the arc, it's Donville. Inside, a stop by Dobson.
That was a great play by Trainer.
Can see again physical out there.
Yeah, the man ball play by 43 in white to make the hit to allow his teammate to get that grounder. Huge play.
One of the benefits of keeping Trainer out there, a D midi to play offense. Outside of Campbell, the rest of the Cannons are 0 for 11. 5 to shoot as Donville tracks it down. They'll ice the ball. Let's listen in to Garrett Epple as we go under the helmet, powered by Cash App.
Here we go, Goody. Here we go, Tweezer! Bubba. Here we go, alone. Here we go, Bubba, me! Hey, here we go! Nice! I go! Good, fine. Hey, I got it. By yourself. Kill me! Kill me! Break! Hands!
Really good transition play leads to a Van Raphorst bomb, and he shoots from as far as anybody in the league.
You could see him on the last 2 plays you could tell he's trying to go for it.
He wants it.
He does.
I don't mind it when it's backup. He had the backup.
Yeah.
Amen slings it, Fields catches, releases, and scores. Grant Amen is dicing him up.
That's a good way to describe it, Drew. The passes are cutting through the Boston Cannons defense. Watch the release by Connor Fields here. It looks like he almost stops in the middle of it, right? I think at one time when he catches this, he was going to go underneath with a face dodge, and then he figures out, you know what, I'm in a pretty good spot to let this go. Because Garrett Epple's almost hedging the dodge. If he wasn't hedging the dodge, he would have gone out more on Fields as a shooter. He was worried about the underneath move, which gave him more space to shoot.
Yeah, you almost know that something was going to come out of Connor sooner. trying to get in a roll of things.
Cannons called timeout after winning the faceoff.
I think they'll, I think it's all about trying to find an identity of the team, and obviously right from the coaching staff, and then right from defense, out of goaltending to offense, trying to figure things out. As the season goes along, they'll definitely start finding their groove.
Got 20 seconds to shoot here. Ryan Drenner with the pill. Piper Bond defends him. Short stick matchup for Drenner. There he is. Campbell in his spot. Holman, that's his spot. And finally, a non-Campbell cannon is on the board. Marcus Holman with his 328th career goal. That's third all time.
Marcus, what did you see on that last rip?
They pressed out on Campbell. We were trying to go to him, so Ryan Drenner just got us going on the invert, and then once you get him sliding, obviously it makes my job easy, just off ball, and Dauber got me on the last one, so I had to beat him. Same spot.
Campbell was responsible for all 5 goals prior to your rip there. What makes that second-year midfielder pop?
He's built different, two-handed. He's just an athletic freak, and he's playing well, so we got to keep feeding him.
That's Marcus Holman. Cash App powering the athletes under the helmet. Just as we expected, we got a tie game. These were the top 2 teams in the regular season last year. This is our 3rd tie tonight. Seven to 5, the edge for the Cannons at the face-off stripe. And after the Archers clear, they cut a timeout.
And a lot's the reaction of the way the defense will play.
He's matched up with Bryce Young as they get Ament way out top near the 45-yard line. 10 to shoot. Ament draws 2.
They got the switch, and Coach Bates mentioned that to Dana earlier, right? They could find the switch in the 2-man game. But that's really good defense by the Cannons.
Really good. Leads to a shot clock violation. And now the Cannons can take the last shot of the second quarter.
When your shorties can buckle down and own those matchups, and Bubba Fairman did a great job on Grant Ament. They switched, right? He went from pole to short stick because of the pick game. But Bubba Fairman stood his ground.
Nolting posting up on Hasek.
He's been spectacular on Nolting.
100%, his first game of the year.
He's almost built for this matchup, too, right?
Yeah.
Like Graham Hasek being told, this guy's going to be physical. Oh, good luck.
That plays right into Hasek's game. Look at that.
There he is again. Fitting into the first half. Nolting 0 for 2. Kept out of the goal column in that first half. We got a 6-6 tie. We'll see the Denver Outlaws tomorrow, 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Sisselberger wins the faceoff. He is 6 for 10 tonight. You saw the odds. Over-under was 25.5. Expecting a pretty high scoring affair, and we're close to the pace with 12 total in the first half. Here's Grant Ament. A goal and a couple dimes in the first half. Still has the short stick. Zach Goodrich on him. Got to hurry with 3 seconds left. That'll draw a flag, and Goodrich is barking at Ament.
I'm not sure about that call.
Yeah.
What did you think?
What number?
Hold.
14. He's going to get Goodrich on a hold.
Cannons foul number 14, 30-second technical. Hold.
Yeah, that's a close one, but
Yep.
I think it's definitely questionable.
Does he prohibit his movement upfield here? Yeah, I can.
That's what I mean. It was like a quick
tough.
second. Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough call.
It's like you know, it's all in one motion, happens in one motion, it happens so quick. So.
And it also looked like Ament kind of moved his arm, and then Goodrich just continued to push him out.
Archer's 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. It's especially painful, that penalty taken that, because the shot clock was about to expire. Leads to an O'Keefe shot, cursed. What a save, Leclerc, too easy. Trey Leclerc picks up the loose change and has a power play goal to give Utah the lead.
This is a tough one because Kirst makes a really good save on the initial rip from the outside in O'Keefe. That's a really nice lone away stop. But the rebound allows Leclerc to crash the paint. And you saw just the dejection by Kirst, who was laying there.
Deserved better than that.
Yeah, you can kind of see how the defense, you know, didn't have a chance at that.
If you look at guys who score the most when they touch the ball, Trey Leclerc at the top of the list. That means over 14% of the time it's in his stick, he scores.
Xander Dixon would be one that I would have a good feeling about.
Yeah. If you're higher than Xander Dixon on that list, you're doing something right.
Check, check, check.
Sisselberger's heating up.
Now 7 of 11, and it's...
Yeah, it was kind of close at the beginning there.
That's a tough turnover, though, because he wins the face-off, and they turn it over. Now you give the Cannons a full clock at 52.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy, here he is again.
Campbell trying to test the alley. Mike Robinson's been quiet in his first game, 29 in white. Here's Donville, first game of the season. Professional vet at this
what
point.
A double by Hasek.
Yeah, Hasek, man, he is dialed in.
Yeah.
Doubles, Jeremy, it's all about timing. Do you see how he just sensed it, too? He knew the Cannons offensive player in that spot was going to turn his back, but he timed it perfectly. He didn't show.
Yeah, every defender's, you know, trained to know that. As soon as the guy, offense guy, ball carrier has the ball and he turns his head, makes another direction, then that's a goal time. That's a sign that he's sliding without no stopping.
They gave it right back to him, though. 12 turnovers for Archers, 13 for Cannons. Here's Kirst with some speed. They spin it through, Nolting at X. Now it's Aslanian, one of the best distance threats in the PLL. That counts for 1, and it's gorgeous. Aslanian goes 5-hole for his first goal of the year.
Big lefty. Utah forces him to his offhand. And he stands his ground here on this dodge. Look at the placement here. Aslanian right here just goes up towards the middle of the field, and by going high on that dodge, when he rolls, he still has a good angle.
Still has good angle, yeah. You can kind of see he comes up to 5-on-5, but he's a little far up, but he comes down and takes that angle and simply his shot off.
You know, a lot of guys, when they make that move, a lot of times they don't go high enough towards the middle of the field, so when they come out of their escape, they don't have the angle.
They don't have it. They decrease their angle.
Yeah.
Aslanian, you saw he went to college at Hobart, had 192 career points there. Never won the Krause-Simmons Trophy, though.
You can explain to people what that is?
That's the rivalry with Syracuse. Sorry to any Statesman fans out there. You got 3 Syracuse guys in the booth tonight. Dana's providing the objectivity on the field.
Thank goodness for me down here. You guys are so biased up there. I don't know what you're drinking in Syracuse, but it ain't no Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay,
That's for sure.
Shot clock under 5. Schreiber, that's a pass. Kirst, that's a save, and a good one. 5 for Colin Kirst tonight.
I was going to say, with that pass going through there and that goal was going in, and I was going to say that's something else.
Yes. The passing by Schreiber and Ament. The through passing, how the diagonal passes, just it's like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
Kirst back to Nolting.
you haven't seen a lot of flow in the offense because they're taking the head of the snake, right, out of the mix with Nolting.
Yeah.
Hasek has owned this matchup tonight. And then now you don't feel the flow, right? You don't see it transferring through X.
It's a great call. Nolting, the straw that stirs the drink, and Hasek's been all over him.
And I think that's the changeup, you know. If Hasek is owning that matchup, they're definitely going to have to alternate something, you know, in the second half here, and that's what they're exactly trying to find.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Campbell, what offense would they have tonight, really?
Well, think about coming in. Nolting had 10 assists, more than half of the team's total.
Exactly. The team only had 16. So where's the distribution coming from when he's out of the mix? You win with assisted goals.
Maybe you can get it in transition.
You're going to have to find those kind of spots.
No backup.
But we saw in the first game, if you take Connor Schellenberger out of the mix and you're the New York Atlas, you still have Jeff Teat, who can distribute and play like another quarterback. When you rely heavily on one quarterback, if you take him out of the mix, where's the offense generating from?
Yeah. I think that just reminds me back to, you know, same thing when Lyle was in here. You know, he kind of take things over and they focus just on him.
Yes.
You know, to your exact point.
Whereas Utah has ball distributors in Schreiber, Grant Ament.
Yep.
A lot of guys that can pass at a super high level to get everyone else involved.
Trainer just picked Connor Field's pocket. How often do you see that? A short stick with a takeaway on Connor Fields.
Yeah, that's always a rare scene there.
Now, guys, is there anything they can do to get Hasek off of Nolting?
Picks.
Good job, ball.
Try to send some picks his way.
I think if anything, have Nolting play the crease.
There you go. He almost had a switch there.
Oh, Hasek back on him. Nolting scores through him. Asher Nolting is in the goal column, and his team leads by 1.
It's been a heavyweight battle between Asher Nolting and Graham Hasek. Body blows, uppercuts, all coming from Hasek. Here's the answer. The big boy owns goal line extended. He's got the Cannons up by 1. We got a dandy and mini. Craftsman and Coach Roy Simmons Jr., my coach at Syracuse, was very tight with Alfie, and I went out to breakfast with Alfie and Coach a couple times, and we'd go back to Alfie's shop, and to see him at work and in the process too, so extensive.
It's an art, man. Like I've tried to make one, little baby ones, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely a skill set.
Well, you have to heat up the wood to shape it, right?
Yeah. There's just so much that goes behind a craft like that.
It's incredible, and folks, check it out if you haven't seen it on YouTube. There's a video that the PLL put out called Roots, which is narrated partially by Jeremy, and you get to see some clips of Alfie Jacques making a stick. It's really amazing. There's Donville with the shot. Dobson's got the save. He was in the crease, so that's Cannon's ball. I beg your pardon, Archer's ball. By the way, Campbell had his 5th total goal with 5:13 left in the first half. 3 goals, 2 of them were 2-pointers. He hasn't had a shot since then. Under 5 to play in the 3rd. We got an offside there against Utah. Whistle came from Palem near the substitution box.
I feel like Van Raphorst wants a goal tonight, right? 77 in white, the big pole.
Yeah, I agree. He's I've seen it a few times.
He's hunting.
He's been shooting from St. Cloud. Maybe International Falls. Here's the rookie, Bo Peterson.
He wears 89. His father was a football player at the University of Michigan, wore that number.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he did his 5th year at Michigan after graduating from Princeton. COVID year, those Ivy athletes allowed him to spend his final year of eligibility at his father's alma mater.
There's a little two-man action here coming up. See if they can get anything out of that.
And Moore setting the screen for Schreiber. No dice there. They get it to Ambler.
That's great
harassed by
defense.
Eppel.
Outstanding defense by Garrett Eppel, 52 in white.
Always among the league leaders in caused turnovers, and that's why. Nolting on the catch, the sweep. Dobson, a chest save.
Oh, so good.
He's always there.
That's what he does along with Blaze Reardon. It's like the subtle body movement to make a save, right? Yeah. Shoulder saves, the chicken wing saves.
That was his 6th save. This is physical. A scrum for a ground ball. Of course, Hasek's in the middle.
Chicken wing.
Yep, the old chicken wing. You ever see Blaze make those saves?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Now that
he just moves that elbow.
Ouch. Takes a special breed to play goalie. Campbell's got a step. Look out. Dishes it to Holman. Can't connect with Nolting. And that's over and back. 17 turnovers for the Cannons. 17 for the Archers. I mean, good defense or sloppy offense? Maybe a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. But we saw this game start with a ton of turnovers.
Yeah.
That's 17 in the first quarter combined.
Archers have caused 8 turnovers. Cannons 6. Amen trying to get free a Trainer who's been a beast tonight on that defensive end. Draws 2. Money. Upper 90 from Ryan Ambler. He's got 2 goals tonight, and we've got another tie.
The instincts of this goal by Ryan Ambler, completely elite. Look how he tucks his stick here. At the last second, it looks like he's going to get trail checked right here. You see how he just brings the stick in front of him. To feel the pressure, Jeremy, is just amazing, and he does it in a fraction of a second.
This is what he was doing before the game. This is smudging. Cody Hall from the Lakota tribe. Explain this for us, Jeremy.
Yeah, I think just going back to, the initial play, obviously baiting him, and, that's what it's all about when it comes down to an offensive threat. And you got here a smudging here that it essentially kind of takes off any kind of negativity, trying to bring in some blessings. It's obviously a high regard in our culture to have a pipe. So yeah, that's our basic connection between us and this physical realm of that we live here on Earth to the sky world.
What was that he was touching him with?
So it was all eagle feathers.
Oh,
yeah, cool. Eagle feather fan.
Cody Hall is a good friend of Lars Tiffany, who was your coach for the Haudenosaunee.
Yep.
In San Diego at the World Championships. And Lars Tiffany, who's been coaching at Virginia and has the 2 national titles, grew up in Lafayette, which is where you went to high school.
My high school, yeah. That's a pretty cool scene. I didn't see that on here.
Ambler turns it over. Fairman with the great defense. Clearly it's working for Ambler. He's got 2 goals tonight. 2 all year coming in. Van Raphorst, there it is again.
Yeah, give him a goal.
Hunting the 2.
That's his 4th attempt.
You're good. If it's on cage, it's a bear to deal with.
He's now 0 for 10 shooting from outside the arc this year. He had 4 2-bombs last year, which was 1 off the PLL lead. Campbell back to work. It's been lethal tonight. They will not let him get his hands free. 20 on the timer. A minute left to play in this 3rd quarter.
Support, drive up.
Nolting's got the short stick. It's a moving screen. Shot clock and game clock basically even.
Looks like Ament now is playing attack, and they took Matt Moore out and brought him through the box. And Moore played a ton of midfield at the University of Virginia.
Rogers, amazing individual effort. Lost the rock before he got to the crease. They stepped in. It's Cannon's ball. 8th turnover of the quarter.
Hey, stop ball, JR.
15 seconds left in the third. This is our 5th tie tonight. Aslanian trying to get to that left hand. He skips it. Drenner. Oh, it goes in. Thompson had it for a moment, and it trickles across the goal line. It's another deuce for Boston.
This is a tough one for Dobson. He's on it. He's going to look at the replay behind him. Stares this one down. He makes the initial save, but when the ball is moving that fast, there's always a rebound. So hard to make a clean save on a shot like that. Oh. Just unlucky.
Great look here from the net cam.
Oh.
What do you call that? Enough English on it?
Yeah.
Got the spin? Yeah.
Think about it, when the ball's spinning that hard, right? The ball's flying at 100 miles an hour. It's almost impossible to make a clean save when you're having to make that low and away stop. It's different if he throws it up high, right? You can catch it and make the clean save.
Yeah.
Sisselberger flings it into the grass behind the end zone.
You just hope the rebound is in front of you, not behind you.
Yeah. It cost Dobson there. The third 2-ball of the night for the Cannons. It gives them the lead. 10-8. 12 minutes to play. We had high expectations for this game, and oh boy, is it living up to them. Nolting's on the board. His Cannons, 10. Archers, 8. Fourth quarter, next. Let's listen in on the faceoff to start the fourth. It's a battle every time when 99's involved. So the Archers with the opening possession, but just 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Here's Trey LeClaire. Grant Ament now playing attack. Fields from goal line extended. Under 5 to shoot. It's number 5 Fields, sheds his man and scores! Connor Fields goes to the earth for a hat trick.
Depends what flavor you like. If you want quickness shot out of a cannon, the best dodger in the PLL from the attack position, Michael Sowers. If you want slick and an ability to just own matchups with deception and shoulder type of manipulation, Jeremy, it's Connor Fields.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't agree with you. You know, when I kind of thought it was going to come into like a 2-man game, but obviously him coming into that and coming off that, you know, you can kind of see that once he got it over the edge of it, past his shoulder, he was able to get one-on-one with the goalie.
He's so unpredictable, and you see when he comes above goal line extended, he starts sweeping. You don't know if he's going to continue going towards the middle of the field, if he's going to slip underneath, if he's using the pick.
Yep.
The hardest thing is when you're a teammate of Connor Fields, sometimes you don't know his patterns. Well, the positive is the defense doesn't know his patterns either.
Archers back to work. Epples got it. And the Cannons will try to clear. These are two teams that have had their struggles in the fourth quarter this season. Archers enter -7 in the fourth quarter through 3 games, and in 2 of 3 games for the Cannons, they only scored 1 goal in the fourth, weeks 1 and 3.
And if it wasn't for the 2-ball tonight for the Cannons, their offense would be in a world of hurt.
Donville from a sharp angle. Yeah, Boston team shooting from beyond the arc. It's like they're playing Missoula ball out there, like the NBA champion Celtics.
Hey, ready for Big Little here? Big Little here, War. It goes this, goes. You're good.
Off the reset, 20 to shoot. Holman turns the corner. Drenner cashes out again. They are making it rain from the promised land. Well, Holman appears to be a little banged up. He made the pass and paid the price.
They needed him to make that pass because they're not getting the distribution from Asher Nolting, who's been blanketed by Graham Hossack. This is the 4th 2-ball on Dobson. A spectacular goalie, and Holman draws the 2, and Drenner so smart not to follow too much, because then he'd be in front of the arc. He stands his ground, points to the sky, indicating it's 2.
Good news if you're a Cannon fan. I heard Marcus Holman tell the athletic trainer it's just a cramp, so he's getting it massaged, getting some Gatorade, electrolytes. He'll be back on the field.
Cramp, or I thought it could have been like a knee to knee too, right? Based on that contact?
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact there.
Cannons lead is now 3. 4 2-balls for the Cannons, matches their total from their first 3 games combined. Drenner hadn't even taken a shot from outside the arc.
And they needed it more than ever, Drew, because they're not in their base offense tonight.
Archers get it back to number 5, Connor Fields with the hat trick. 5 to shoot. Fields gets to that left hand. Lost his footing somehow, still got the shot away. How did he even have the ball? And Kurst with a great save. There goes Ethan Rawl on the move. Van Raphorst will shoot from anywhere.
Look at the game flow to the save. How in the world does he hold on to that? Connor Fields, his stick skills, his creativity, and the extra step. There's always the extra step in Connor Fields in terms of increasing angle, throwing fakes, deception.
Oof. Yeah. Behind the back from way outside from Mike Robinson. That would have been his first pro goal. 7 saves for Thompson. Both goalies have 7 saves. Here's Bond as the trailer. Loaded up O'Keefe. That had some steam coming off it.
Here we go, urgency! Alone! Alone!
So it looks like they're playing Ament now permanently at attack with Matt Moore coming out of the box playing midfield. Moore is still scoreless on the season.
Yeah, slow start for him. LeClaire, it looks like, is playing a lot at midfield for the Archers. He just had his pocket picked. So it's Cannons by 3, 8 minutes to play. Winner of this one moves to 3-1 and would be set up really nicely for the second half of the season.
Talk about a game where you needed the 2-pointer, right? Where the offense just isn't in flow. You found a way to get these points.
Jesus.
That was physical. Nolting, pump fakes. Another! Aslanian! The Boom Squad dropping nukes tonight.
You know, it's crazy. Sometimes the greatest goalies are better in tight. And when you hit them from deep and you get 1 or 2 past them, they start thinking a little bit more. They're able to get to Dobson, and he is not an easy goalie to master or own. Tonight, they're spraying it from deep.
So Aslanian has a 2. Campbell has a 2. Campbell has 2 2s.
Yes,
Drenner has 2
5.
2s. They have 5 as a team.
Wow.
Man. This is an exhibition.
This is a game, if you didn't look at the scoreboard and you just saw like the flow of the game and who was clicking a little bit more, you felt like Utah was kind of in a better spot in this game. But the 2 balls allowed Boston to separate themselves. That's why you got to love the PLL. It adds that dimension, right? You're always in the game with a 2. But you also could define your offense in different ways on different nights. And tonight, the definition for this offense has been stretch shooting.
Well, think about it. If those were 1s instead of 2s, this is a tie game right now. And how does that affect the integrity of the defense when a team proves that they can stretch you like that? Does it give you extra spacing?
Well, it does, but you also have so much confidence in your goalie. And Brett Dobson, everyone knows he's one of the best.
Yeah.
So you don't oftentimes have the same rules for him as you would an average goalie, right? You're giving them a little bit more of that, but tonight, Boston's been able to solve that.
No, I think just on that last play, I think that, you know, with Knowlton, you know, kind of just more or less trying to put his body into using his weight against Graham.
Yep.
He's moving his feet, and you kind of see that he kind of created space and drawed that guy down, which gave him that.
That's a great point, because it looks like Utah is showing adjacent, right? And when you show adjacent, you're going to have those step down opportunities. And that's where you're seeing it, right? You're seeing all these twos from generally the same area. It's right up top in kind of the center part. Utah is showing, and then Boston kind of just follows with a guy there with his feet set.
So when you say show, it's not a full slide?
No, it's not a full slide.
Yeah.
You show enough that the next man in the rotation is free to shoot.
We're going to flag down, 10 seconds to shoot. Knowlton goes back to work. And they blow the whistle.
Okay. Archer's foul. 30-second technical interference, 89.
It's on the rookie, Bo Peterson. He'll sit. When we come back, Boston to the power play and maybe a chance at the dagger, leading by 5 with under 6 to play.
Coming into tonight, Boston had 4 two-pointers in 3 games. Tonight, they've got 5. Spraying it from deep. Staring down Brent Thompson, one of the finest netminders in the world. The outside spraying. Campbell's got 2. Drenner's come to the party. Aslanian. It is raining in Minnesota, 2 balls.
They've hit 4 one-pointers and 5 two-pointers. It's like a bunch of guys who watched Steph Curry growing up. All they want to do is shoot. It has really leveled the playing field, though. So Boston to the power play to start out of this timeout. Already leading by 5 as we come up on 5 minutes left. If they score here, that could be curtains.
Last year, 75% on the power play. That is insane in terms of that number, leading the league, obviously.
Already scored on the power play once tonight. Holman is back in the game after he got his right calf worked on. He told Dana it was just cramping. Cannons turn it over.
Take away these 2 balls, this game's tied.
Yep.
A tie game.
We had 5 ties through 3 quarters. Holman on the ride. Gives a whack to Piper Bond.
Open!
Cannons putting on a show here in the second game of Indigenous
alone.
Heritage Weekend.
Gonna have to set a pick for Mac O'Keefe above the arc. Ones aren't gonna cut it if you're Utah.
O'Keefe's as dangerous as they get from outside the arc. Schreiber can hit him too. LeClaire, he's got a cannon.
I felt like if LeClaire caught that ball and didn't have to catch it across his face, if he caught it stick side, he would have been able to get that shot off quicker.
Yeah.
10 on the timer. Approaching 4 minutes left. O'Keefe a great catch, but the shot wide. Fields has the backup in 3 seconds left. Probably no time to do anything here. So a shot clock violation. Keep in mind, the Cannons with their 5 two-pointers, the Archers are 0 for 4 from outside the arc. That's the difference in the game. Fairman trying to clear it himself, lowering the shoulder like Adrian Peterson on top of that Vikings logo. Ament looked like he was offside.
Yeah, he didn't go over.
2 flags on the opposite end of the field.
Might as well stay right now and play 7-on-6. I give the Cannons a ton of credit tonight because their offense had not a lot of flow for the majority of the game, but they found a way to almost reinvent themselves. Their quarterback, their leader, and Asher Nolte
30-second technical offsides.
bottled up Jim Mitchell, the offensive coordinator, I think he's one of the best minds in lacrosse, kept at it, right? And then they found ways, we talked about this earlier, Jeremy, when Utah would show adjacent, and even when Nolting wasn't successful winning the matchup, he did enough at times to draw the defense to shift to give those two-ball opportunities.
Yeah, I think you've seen a little bit in the first quarter, and like you said, they're adapting now and trying to find different routes and different players to kind of come up, and yeah, it's kind of shown that, and with the two-point range stuff, kind of drawing everything in. Now they're able to take those shots from outside.
But that adds a lot of value for a team moving forward, right? Like, if you have to win games the same way all the time, you're in trouble late in the season if something doesn't work out. Early stages of the year, pre-All-Star break, if you've seen a lot of different scenarios with your offense when one week you win one way, the next week you win another, that pays dividends down the road, because then you're able to strike in multiple ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and it's given with any kind of team. Obviously Boston, they're more orientated around like Knowlton, kind of dodging in the beginning of the game like he's showing, and then they're showing a different perspective of themselves now. Whereas earlier we looked at the Alice, we talked about how much balance they have on shooters from the outside, ball carriers. Yep. They have backup. Exactly. They have different options.
Beat you multiple ways. There's the standings right now. Atlas is still in a great spot, not only record-wise, but the scoring differential as well, putting up video game numbers. But they got their first loss of the year against a team in the Maryland Whips that a lot of people, including myself, did not see that coming, right? Yeah. But the rookies for the Maryland Whips in game one in Minneapolis, they proved that they are ready to be forces in this league.
I think it just makes, it makes perfect sense. I was talking to a couple of guys, Atlas guys after the game, Brett Constable, and, it's to be expected. They're top dogs. They're a dominant team. Everyone's gunning for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a video on Twitter today. Some guys said the Whips were the worst team in the league. I'm not going to name any names. You know who you are. They proved them wrong today.
Call the person out.
You know who you are. Diggs. 2:45 left here. Cannons on the power play, content to milk some clock. Holman on the feed. Shot saved by Thompson. Scrum for it. How about the effort from Asher Nolting, just killing a few extra seconds. 8 saves for Thompson.
This game's been physical.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a physical game when you have short stick defensive midfielders who like confrontation. The Boston Cannons have those guys. Goodrich, Bubba Fairman, they like confrontation. They're in the middle of the field. You're going to see a physical game from them.
Let's go under the helmet, powered by Cash App.
I got to square up and go, though. When I was hanging, I thought we were slow getting on. I got to get the ball deep and then cut. Is it really humid out, or is it just me? Okay. 2 lefties, 3 righties. Wait, need another lefty. Come on, carry. Come on, Ash. Yeah! There it is! Keep shooting, boy. Easy. Go over, Goody. Down the side. One more. Oh! Let him cook! Yeah, Dren. Oh, you're Drenner. Way to go.
Said let him cook about Matt Campbell, who was the Cannons' entire offense. He had their first 5 goals. A 1-pointer and 2 2-pointers. Marcus Holman had an assist on one of them, and this is just what Marcus Holman does. He just produces, man.
Graduated from North Carolina in 2013. He's been around for a long time. Takes great care of his body, his off-season training. He approaches it like he's trying to make a team.
The acorn did not fall far from the tree there. His dad, Brian Holman, always upbeat, always positive. He's helped engineer this turnaround that's continued into this season. Under 2 minutes to play now. Amen. Trying to
Yeah,
play
that's
some
going to be a
Boyle
hold
or
on
Schreiber,
Trainer.
rather. Yep. Trainer's going to get hit with the hold when the Cannons touch the ball.
Foul on Cannons, number 43, 30-second technical. Hold. No, Frank.
Now for the Archers, they do have an elite face-off guy. They do have guys who can stretch you, although they haven't really shown it tonight. It's a 3-possession game. Any hope here?
In this game, it's going to be tough sailing. Moving forward, for me, they're just playing too sloppy. They're turning the ball over way too much. Not just this game. Not just this game.
Yeah.
You look at the patterns throughout the course of this year. That would be driving me nuts if I was Chris Bates. The way that they're losing games, when they do lose, they're handing it to teams with turnovers.
Fields, good save by Kirst. And that should just about slam the door. Utah averaging over 20 turnovers per game this year.
There you go.
Tops in the league, and it's not particularly close.
And that's a tough way to play when you have a new defense. Right, Hossack's back, but he lost Matt McMahon to retirement. Jared Connors is now with the Redwoods. He's a long stick midfielder. Shumay's out for the season with an injury. Those are three guys that a year ago were starters.
Yeah, it took over. So
Less than a minute now. We've had a little chippiness throughout the night, and it's starting to get heightened here. That looked like it came from the Epple Fields matchup. This
What do
flag.
you got? No, I know. What do you got? 14 interference. Cannons foul number 14, 30-second technical interference.
Zach Goodrich.
He's always mixing it
For
up.
me, though, the story of the two games, I still go back to game one with the Maryland Whipsnakes. The depth of rookies in this league. I've never seen a class this deep. Now, it has star power with O'Neal and Schellenberger and Kavanaugh and Entenmann. But the depth of rookies in this league, guys like Jack Corus, who weren't even drafted, 2 goals. Levi Anderson, an afterthought, 2 goals tonight.
Adam Poitras.
Adam Poitras, another one, 2 goals. The league is so healthy in terms of elite young talent. This is the best class, and I think tomorrow, when you turn on ESPN2 and you see Brennan O'Neal, he went nuclear a couple weeks ago. We're going to see him.
Kirst with another save. And that'll turn the lights out here at TCO Stadium. An aerial assault from the Cannons. 5-2 bombs. And they win this game by 5. For Paul Carcaterra, Dana Boyle, Jeremy Thompson, also known as Gayagwagahe?
You got it.
Close enough. Thank you, man. Our entire crew led by
Thank you,
Todd
Bees.
Jones and Brett Lancaster. I'm Drew Carter. Thanks for watching the PLL on ESPN. Good night from Minnesota.